All right, let's dive in. Today, we're breaking down a book that has absolutely taken the world by storm, and for a very good reason. Atomic Habits by James Clear. It offers a totally different way to think about personal change, and we're going to unpack exactly how it works.
You know the feeling, right? January 1st hits, you are full of motivation. You're going to hit the gym, you're going to eat healthy, learn a new language, and then a few weeks later, all that energy just evaporates, and you're back to square one. It's so easy to blame yourself. But what if you're not the problem? What if it's your entire approach?
And this quote right here, this is the absolute foundation of the entire book. See, James Clear argues that we're all obsessed with goals, but that's actually holding us back. Think about it. Winners and losers in any field often have the exact same goals. The real difference, the thing that actually separates them, is the system they follow every single day.
So if big, audacious goals aren't the answer, where do we even begin? Well, Clear's answer is a little counterintuitive. You start with something so small it almost feels insignificant.
What if, instead of trying to revolutionize your life overnight, you just tried to get 1% better every single day? It sounds like nothing, right? But the math here is just incredible. That tiny daily improvement starts to compound, and after a year, you end up almost 38 times better than when you started. It's like compound interest, but for your life.
And this is where the title of the book comes from, an atomic habit. The word atomic is just perfect because it means two things. First, it's about something tiny, a fundamental piece of a bigger system. But second, it's also about a source of immense power. These are the tiny routines that become the building blocks for truly remarkable results.
And that leads us to the next huge idea in the book, which is a real mind-bender if you've been taught to be goal-oriented your whole life.
Seriously, if you only take one thing away from our whole chat today, let it be this. If you've been trying and failing to build a good habit, it is not because you're lazy or you lack willpower. It means the system you're using is broken. You don't need to try harder, you just need a better blueprint.
So how do we build that better system? Well, this is where Clear gives us an incredibly simple and practical framework. He calls it the 4 laws of behavior change. You can think of this as the instruction manual for how your own brain works.
Now, before we get to the laws, you have to understand this little loop. This is the basic psychology behind every single habit you have, good or bad. It all starts with a cue or a trigger that leads to a craving, which motivates a response or the actual habit, and finally, you get a reward. The 4 laws are designed to hijack this very process. Okay, law number 1, make it obvious. This is all about that first step, the cue. It's really simple. You can't act on a trigger you don't even see. So if you want to start a new habit, the cue for it needs to be staring you right in the face. And here are 2 amazing ways to do just that. An implementation intention gets rid of any vagueness. So instead of, I'm going to try to meditate more, you say, I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. See? Super specific. And habit stacking is even cooler. You just bolt your new habit onto an existing one. Like, after I make my morning coffee, I will do 10 push-ups.
All right, next up, we're targeting the craving. Our brains are hardwired to want to repeat things that feel good. So the more attractive a habit seems, the more likely we are to actually do it.
So how do you make a kind of boring habit attractive? One of the best ways is to use your social environment. If you want to get fit, join a group where being fit is just the normal thing to do. That desire to belong is an incredible motivator. You can also just change the way you talk about it. It's not, I have to go for a run. It's time for me to build endurance and clear my head.
And now for law number 3, which is all about the response itself. This one is huge because it taps into a basic human truth. We are all programmed to take the path of least resistance. To build a good habit, you have to make it almost laughably easy to do.
So, you want to play more guitar? Don't keep it in its case in the back of your closet. Put it on a stand right in the middle of your living room. You're just reducing the friction. And this brings us to the famous 2-minute rule. The idea is that any new habit should take less than 2 minutes. Read before bed just becomes read 1 page. Go for a run becomes put on my running shoes. The point isn't the result, it's mastering the art of just showing up.
And finally, we have the 4th law, which is all about the reward. This is the step that completes the loop and tells your brain, hey, that was good, let's do that again. The problem is, with good habits, the reward is often way down the road. We need to find a way to feel good now.
The secret here is immediate gratification. You have to give yourself a small, immediate win right after you do the habit. A habit tracker is perfect for this. Every time you cross off a day on the calendar, you get this little rush of satisfaction. And remember this crucial rule. Never miss twice. Look, missing one day is an accident. Missing a second day is the start of a new bad habit.
Okay, so that's the blueprint for building good habits. But what about getting rid of the bad ones? Well, this is where the whole system becomes so elegant. You don't have to learn a whole new set of rules. You just flip them upside down.
Just look at this. It's a perfect mirror image. To break a bad habit, you do the opposite of everything we just talked about. You make the cue invisible, hide the junk food. Make it unattractive, think about how sluggish you feel after eating it. Make it difficult, don't even buy it in the first place. And make it unsatisfying. Maybe you have an accountability partner you have to report to. It's the same logic, just in reverse.
Now, we could stop right there. That's an incredibly practical toolkit for changing your behavior. But James Clear takes it one step further to the real, profound reason why our habits are so important.
This right here, this is probably the deepest and most important idea in the whole book. The true goal of building habits isn't just to get something, like a clean house or a promotion. It's about something much deeper. It's about fundamentally changing your beliefs about who you are. It is about shaping your identity. I want you to really let this quote sink in. Every single time you sit down and write one page, you are casting a vote for being a writer. Every time you go to the gym, even if it's just for 5 minutes, you're casting a vote for being a healthy person. Your habits are the small pieces of evidence that you are becoming who you want to be.
So the final question isn't really about what you want to achieve. The real question, the one that this book really leaves us with, is this. With every small choice you make today, who are you voting to become?